Well, more than 80 years after it was discarded and dumped into Lake Washington, a World War II relic takes to the sky once again. Its journey back home was only made possible by a couple of kids who saw a rare opportunity and dove in headfirst.
Finally,
Oh,
after 41 years,
the beast's gone for life.
a dream come true.
Never thought I would see this happen.
Nobody knows more about the history of this plane
Pretty cool.
than Kirkland's Matt McCauley, whose love for history goes all the way back to high school.
That plate was there.
And to hear what he hears
The guns are live, right?
and see what he sees,
Paint with the red lettering that had the Army.
you need to know a little of what he knows. Let's take you back to 1945. Magnuson Park was a naval air station, headquarters for the 13th Naval District. Naval records show one particular Curtiss SB2C Helldiver entered service on June 30th, 1944. This aircraft history card shows it was transferred to Seattle just 6 months later. After a hard landing, it was stricken.
They started taking parts off of it, used it as a fire training aid. They'd throw avgas on it and light it on fire and let the crews put the fire out.
With training complete, they were loaded up on a Navy crane ship, hauled out into the middle of the lake, and dumped in 150 feet of water. 40 years later, two college students armed with a little knowledge and know-how set out to bring one of those Helldivers up from the depths.
Thinking back to the fact that it was 41 years ago.
I caught up with McCauley at the park last week on the anniversary of that salvage.
The dude you had to have been really passionate about.
Oh, we were crazy. Yeah, we were crazy about it.
King 5 was there on the morning of July 15th, 1984, as 19-year-old McCauley and his crew used floats to raise the remains of the plane to the surface. The all-day ordeal drew some onlookers, but salvaging the shell of an old corroded plane didn't garner much media attention at the time. Not until the following month, when the U.S. Navy decided to stake its claim on that plane and others the pair found.
They should be raised under the auspices of the Navy, has never given up ownership to them, has not abandoned them in any way.
It seems the plane did have some value after all. A young McCauley sure thought so.
Seeing as how there are only two SB2Cs known, I would like to see this go into being restored, either helping restore another one or have this one itself restored.
Long story short, the boys won the legal battle and the plane was sold to a collector the following year. Which brings us back to Colorado. Of the 7,140 SB2Cs built between 1943 and 1945, only a handful remain today. And this is one of only 3 in the world that actually flies. For visitors, it's a cool plane. For history buffs, it's a World War II icon. For McCauley,
Watching it actually fly in front of a crowd of delighted people who are still really interested in World War II aviation is just incredibly satisfying.
So McCauley and his friends pulled 5 Navy planes out of the lake over the next few years, including a couple more of those Helldivers. They sold them all to collectors and recouped some of the money that they spent on the salvages, but as he says, it was never about the money. It was all about the adventure and trying to preserve a little bit of that history. They had so much fun. His stories just go in depth.
Yeah, what a unique hobby. And it's so great that he got to see it, take flight. What a rare opportunity.
To go after that. At 19, they were doing this, and here, 40 years later, to fly down there and watch it go.
I mean, that must have been so fulfilling for him.
I think he was so overjoyed to watch that. It was pretty good.
Great story. Thank you, Greg.